My wedding day began in the village and was meant to end in the town, like a bridge between two lives I had lived. One simple and dusty, the other loud and electric. At dawn, the women in my father's compound woke me with songs that had followed brides for generations. Their voices trembled with joy and something else, perhaps the knowledge that a daughter was both being celebrated and quietly given away. Mama's hands shook as she tied my epele around my waist. "No matter where you go," she whispered, "remember the path home." I laughed them, thinking she was only being sentimental. I did not know those would become the heaviest words she would ever give me. By afternoon, the village square had turned into a festival of color. Children chased each other between the drummers. Old men argued over kola nuts. My husband, Tunde, arrived with his family from the city in a convoy of shiny cars that raised dust like a small storm. He looked different in a way I could not name. Handsome, proud, but distant, as if the town had already claimed him fully. We performed the rites beneath the ancient udala tree. When he lifted my veil, his eyes softened, and for a moment I saw the boy who used to walk me home from the stream years ago, before he left for the city. That boy had promised to return for me, and he had kept his promise. By evening, we left the village behind. I watched the mud houses shrink into the distance through the back window of the car. The road stretched ahead, smooth and black, leading toward the glowing skyline of the town where our new life waited. Tunde squeezed my hand. "Our story starts tonight," he said. Our hotel room overlooked the restless city. Lights flickered like stars fallen to the earth. Somewhere below, music pounded, horns blared, people laughed. It felt like another universe entirely. I changed into the white nightdress Mama had secretly packed for me, embroidered with tiny flowers she had stitched herself. Tunde stood by the window, unusually quiet. When he turned, his smile looked forced. "There's something I need to tell you," he began, but a loud bang from outside cut him short. We both jumped. At first, I thought it was fireworks from some distant celebration, but then came another, sharper, closer. Screams rose from the street below. The hotel corridor erupted with running footsteps and shouts. Someone pounded on our door, yelling for everyone to stay inside. My heart hammered against my ribs. Tunde tried calling someone, anyone, but the network was gone. The city lights flickered once, twice, and then darkness swallowed everything. In the pitch black, we held each other like children lost in a storm. Sirens wailed somewhere far away. I could feel his heartbeat racing, matching mine. "It will be okay," he kept saying, though his voice trembled. Minutes or hours later, the noise faded into an eerie silence. We did not sleep. We simply waited for dawn, sitting on the cold floor with our backs against the bed, fingers intertwined. When morning finally came, pale and reluctant, we opened the door to chaos. Smoke hung in the air. Guests crowded the lobby, whispering, crying, making frantic calls. A television mounted on the wall showed the news: a violent overnight attack in the city center, buildings destroyed, casualties rising. Tunde pushed through the crowd to get a better view. I stayed back, suddenly afraid of what we might learn. Then I heard his voice break in a way I had never heard before. On the screen was the street where our hotel stood, captured from above. The reporter spoke of targeted buildings, of names, of investigations, and then, almost casually, he mentioned that one of the attacked offices belonged to a company under investigation for financial crimes, Tunde's company. The one he had refused to talk about for months, the one he had promised was just complicated business. He turned to me slowly, guilt flooding his face. "I tried to tell you last night," he hoarsely said. "I was going to leave it all behind, I swear." Before I could answer, uniformed officers entered the lobby asking for him by name. The world tilted. My wedding bangles slipped down my wrists and shattered on the marble floor. As they led him away, he looked back at me, not like a husband on his wedding morning, but like a man already disappearing into a life I could not follow. Outside, the city roared back to life, indifferent to the ruins of my first night as a wife. Mama had told me to remember the path home. Standing alone in that crowded lobby, still wearing my white dress, I realized my marriage had ended before it had even begun, and that the road back to the village would be the longest journey of my life.